All right, let's just dive right in. We're about to explore a series of really powerful declarations for a whole new way of seeing life, and they all come from the philosophy of an artist named Andrey Psyche. But here's the thing, this isn't just about art. It's a guide to treating your entire existence as your ultimate masterpiece. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever just felt stuck? Kind of lost, wrestling with those huge questions about what the purpose of it all is? Well, according to this philosophy, that feeling isn't a sign of failure. Not even close. It's a signal. It's actually the starting line for a search to find a much better way to see the world.
And here's the key. The solution isn't about gathering more facts or information. It's about a radical shift in your perspective. It's about having the courage to question the very framework you use to view reality. And that right there is the foundation for the pretty unconventional truths we're about to get into.
So let's start with the absolute foundation of this whole manifesto. It all begins with a complete redefining of what art truly is, and that, in turn, redefines what it means for you to be an artist. First things first, forget the idea that art is just for painters or sculptors. According to this philosophy, art isn't about the medium you use at all. It's about your intention. It is the conscious effort to create an emotional response, whether that's in an audience, in another person, or, even just within yourself. And this is where it all gets incredibly empowering. I mean, look at these examples. When you meticulously clean your space, you're not just tidying up, you're creating an emotional experience of peace and order. When a mechanic perfectly fixes the brakes on a car, they are literally creating a feeling of safety and trust. Any activity, when you do it with your whole heart, becomes a meaningful act of creation. Okay, so let's put this into practice right now. Take a moment and just look at this piece by Psyche himself. Don't try to analyze it or figure out its meaning. Just notice the feeling it creates inside of you. That feeling, that emotional response, that's the art. That is the entire point.
So if your life is your art, then how do you actually live as the artist? Well, that brings us to the second part, the artist's path. This lays out some really actionable principles for living a more authentic, creative life.
Okay, the first principle is a bold one, for sure. Stop making plans for your life. We're all taught to create these 5-year plans and 10-year goals, right? But this philosophy argues that all that rigid planning is a primary source of our anxiety. It pulls our focus away from the only place where life actually happens, which is right now. The idea is to release that tight grip on a specific outcome and instead pour your energy into the process of the present moment.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates how to be in that present moment. It's about a radical acceptance of reality exactly as it is, without any judgment. The good moments, you love them. The challenging ones, well, those are seen as messengers, carrying a crucial lesson you need to move forward.
Next up, let's talk about love, which this philosophy sees as the ultimate creative force. The principle is so simple, but it's incredibly profound. What you give is what you get. So many of us are waiting around to receive the love or the appreciation we crave. But the secret, right here on the screen, is to reverse that equation. If you want to feel loved, you have to become an active source of love first.
And here's how this philosophy is just so beautifully expressed in poetry. This line from Expedition of the Psyche isn't just a lovely thought. It's a practical instruction. It's a call to actively go out and generate love, to stop waiting and start being the person who points out the light in others. This is how you give love away first. Okay, the next concept is presented as a really powerful metaphor. And it's important that we approach it that way, as a symbolic framework for understanding life's beautiful, unpredictable nature, and not as a literal statement. So the metaphor here suggests that a woman's dynamic, emotional, and unpredictable nature is a perfect representation of life itself. It flows, it changes, it presents us with constant complexities. The test, for any person, is whether you can be a stable, loving rock in the face of that beautiful chaos. It's really a test of your ability to provide unconditional love when faced with life's inherent uncertainty.
And all these ideas, redefining art, living in the present, giving love first, embracing unpredictability, they all come together and culminate in one final, empowering truth about you and your role in your own life.
Now, this might sound a little intimidating at first, but it's presented as the most liberating truth you can possibly embrace. We often wait for a boss, a partner, a politician, some outside force to come and save us. This idea shifts you from being a passive recipient of circumstances to being the absolute creator of your own destiny.
So the crucial point here, as this slide just so powerfully illustrates, is that this is not a bleak outlook. It's the ultimate form of empowerment. The moment you accept total responsibility for your life is the exact same moment you claim the power to change it.
And this is really the climax of the entire manifesto. Each and every single one of you is also almighty. It's this recognition of your own divine creative potential. It's a call to stop waiting for permission and to start living like the powerful creator that you fundamentally are. This image, which is Psyche's personal logo, and this powerful quote, they perfectly summarize the core message. You are both the sculptor and the stone, the painter and the canvas. You are not just the artist, you are also the art. Every single day is a new brushstroke. Every choice is another tap of the chisel. You are actively creating your own masterpiece in every single moment.
And so we end with a question, not an answer. Because according to this philosophy, the real power isn't just in understanding these ideas, but in actually living them. Your life is your canvas, your masterpiece in progress. So the only question left is the one on the screen. What will you create?